What is up, my friends and fellow collectors out there? It is day 5 and still no Asajj Ventress Mythos statue. Damn UPS. But while we're waiting for her to show up in the house, let's take a look at Hot Toys Boba Fett 1/4 scale figure. It's time for Nerdgasm. Welcome back, my friends, to another unboxing video. If this is your first time on the channel, we do a lot of talk of collecting. We go on toy hunts, we do Hot Toys reviews, statue reviews, and all kinds of other cool geek stuff like that. So if you're a nerd like me and like that kind of stuff, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can stay up to date on all of the content. All right, so this is one I've been waiting to unbox for a little bit. This is the 1/4 scale Hot Toys Boba Fett figure. I picked up this one from my man Gabe, also known as the Lazy Lover. And you can catch him in the chats usually on our live videos. He's a really good friend. He hooked me up with this one, and I've been waiting to get this one for a while. Every time I go on toy hunts, I happen to catch it, and they always want so much for it in the local comic book stores. But if you're into figures like this, make sure you check out Comic Concepts. They got really good pricing on statues, on Hot Toys figures. They got the best pricing that I've seen out on the internet today. So definitely check them out. I'll leave a link in the description below for you guys to get to it. So this is a huge box. Look at the size of this thing. And I don't even have to bring you guys in for the usual close up. I don't got to do any of that on this one. Because this box is just so big that, you know, you can see it all in its glory. It's got a raised portrait right here, you know, which looks really dope. You can see the helmet that comes out like that. And then this is raised too, where it says 1/4 scale. It's got the usual style to the Boba Fett, to the Star Wars boxing, where you have that black and gray. So nothing different there. And you have the credits there on the back. And then the same thing on the side. So 1/4 scale Boba Fett figure. What I like about these things is it kind of bridges the gap between your 6 scale Hot Toys figure and then your premium format figure from Sideshow. Usually all of these that I've seen have featured mixed media, with the exception of the Iron Man ones, and they're posable and they're big, and they come with a display base, so that gives you the whole option to get kind of like a statue style looking pose. I did a review on the 1/4 scale Darth Vader, and once I got that thing in its place, I was like, oh, this is neat. It looks just like the half scale one that they have from Sideshow, the legendary one. All right, so the box itself slides out of the exterior box, which is very, very durable and hard, so that's cool. And then you're left with this slide here that has the portrait. This pops out like that. And then you can see the figure right there. Look at the size of this thing. That is not a 6 scale figure. All right, let me get all the pieces out and we'll take a look at the accessories and then the figure. All right, so starting out, you get a swap out fist hand. All right. You get a trigger hand. You can see that. Very nice detail on these hands. You know, you got a lot of texturing and like the weathering on the paint. So really nice work with that. All right, you get a relaxed hand like that. You get another hand like this. Like he's holding the bottom of the gun. Another closed fist. Right? You get another relaxed hand. So those are all of the hands. All right. You get his EE3 that has been sawed off, like when Luke cut it in half with his lightsaber. I don't know why they gave you this option, because I wouldn't see why you would want to display it like this unless, you know, you had a 1/4 scale Luke Skywalker to go with it. But they did a really nice job on the weathering and the paint on it. This looks really good. I'm probably going to use these guns as an example when I go to paint my prop that I'm putting together. So very, very cool. Nice work on that. And then you have the EE3 already, you know, fully together, fully assembled, not cut off at all. This is the gun I'm going to use when I'm displaying it. Again, really nice work on the paint. I love the weathering, and just look at the way it's just all grimy and nasty looking. They did a nice job with that. You can see the front of the gun there. Really nice work on that. Definitely going to use this as an example when I go to paint mine. All right. You get a case full of a bunch of different items that I'm gonna have to look up where all these things sit on his suit or their weapons or what, I don't know. I'm gonna figure that out here in just a minute. You get this bag of something. Looks like they're plates to the skiff. You get 2 of them. Very worn out paint. All right. So you get that. You get the jetpack, and the jetpack looks just like it did in the Return of the Jedi. The jets actually can turn. You can maneuver them to position them the way that you want to. But again, really nice job on the paint on this. Very nice weathering and all of that. And then it looks like it attaches to the back. It probably has a magnet that holds these, or maybe these clip in. I'll figure that out here in just a minute. But very nice work. I like that, looks good. All right, you get the crotch grabber, which on this one doesn't seem to be, you know, all that sturdy. I feel like the ones that come with the Iron Man figures have more support from the way this looks. This feels kind of cheap. So I don't know, hopefully it can hold the figure up. And then you get this base, and I'm gonna have to pull out a little bit to show you the base. Get this here so you can see it. There you go. All right, check that out. This is really, really dope. So this is one of the things I loved about this quarter scale version, is that you have the option to have him with this base, and it gives it that whole feel of the Jabba skiff from Return of the Jedi. Really nice job on it. Here's your bottom of the base, so you can see what that looks like. There's no limited edition number, and then you get a plate here up in the front that says Boba Fett on it. So that's pretty cool. And I like all the damage that they put in the back. I think I'd almost want to display it this way, you know, maybe have his foot up here or something. We'll give that a try. But yeah, very, very cool. Very dope. All right, and then the last thing you get is a set of instructions to teach you how to put this all together, and then the figure. So let's take a look at the figure. All right, and there is your huge 1/4 scale Boba Fett figure. Looks really, really cool. All of the armor and details on this are done really nicely. Love the way this looks. I gotta show you guys all the details on this. This is pretty damn cool right here, man. All right, so you guys know what time it is. It's time for a close-up, extreme close-up! All right, there it is in all of its glory. Check out that helmet design. They did a great job on that. Lots of scuffs and dings and damage, just like how it looked in Return of the Jedi. The viewfinder does move down, so that's pretty cool. There doesn't seem to be any batteries that go into this. It would be kind of neat if they did, so you can get the chest plate to light up like that, like it should. That would be pretty awesome if they did that. I'd definitely make this sing even more. Check out the armor plates. See all of the scuffs. They did a nice job on the paint. It's got not just one color, but like several different colors going on in there to, you know, give it more realism. So great work on that. Cut and sew seems pretty nice. I think it's done did a really nice job. It's got some weathering in it. It looks like it's a little dirty and grimy. So that's cool. Did a nice job on the armor. Looks like on the back here you have the clips for where the jetpack will attach to. The cape looks like I'm gonna need to take and probably take and steam it. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, probably steam it to give it a little, to flatten this out a little bit. And I'll probably look in the movie for some reference on how to pose it. There's a wire that's in here that'll give you some posability. So definitely gonna wanna do that. All right. Nice job on the bags here on his belt. You can see all of the stitching and everything in it. Great detail altogether. You even have his weaponry. Check out that. It's nice though. Those arm plates here look good. Bracers. This feels more like cloth material, like rope. So it's not like a hose, but that works. It looks okay. And then you have the Wookiee sashes. So just like that, that's pretty neat. You got his knee missiles that he uses. So that's cool. And you can check out his shoes. He did a good job even on the shoes. You can see that it's got some texturing here and then some smooth areas, so that gives it a nice look to it. And the ankles feel a little loose to me. That's the only thing so far that I'm not really digging. Makes it more as balanced. Seems a little off, but maybe I could play around with that. But everything else about it, I mean, especially the portrait, which was the most important thing, looks really, really nice. All right, so let's get into articulation and see how far we can go with this guy, and then we'll do some poses. All right, so let's see what we can do with this action figure. It looks kind of like one big doll. I think out of all of the Hot Toys that I've gotten, this one feels the most like a doll because of the size, but it's all good. Once I get him posed, I'm gonna like it a lot better. All right, so you got the portrait. You can turn the portrait all the way around like that. All right, and you already saw the viewfinder can come up and down, so that works. He can go about that far down, looking forward, and he can go about that far back when you have him looking back, all right? And the arms, you have about that much play in the arms. It looks like they will move up, but then they kind of sag back down just a bit, so that's about as far as you can get with the arms. All right, elbows, let's see what we got here. So at the upper part of the bicep, you could twist a little bit, but the close, you know, keep it from moving too far. On the elbow, you have a double joint at the elbow, so you can get, you know, pretty far back. Not all the way to the face, but far enough, I think. You can go about that far forward with the arm and about that far back with the arm. So there's a little bit of a restriction there. It kind of like goes outward when that happens, okay? At the forearm, you could twist the bracer, the arm guard that he has, but at least where the flamethrower comes out. But you don't have any, anything to move on the inside of the arm itself, right? Kind of also wish that they would have some kind of hose to go to the flamethrower to make it look like it would be active. I think that's the side that the flamethrower is on, if I remember correctly. All right, at the wrist, you can pull in and you can somewhat extend out, but this part of the bracer kind of gets in the way, so it won't let you. So you can go in at least, you could twist it, you can cock back like that, but again, same problem. This part of the bracer gets in the way on that side. On this side, you can turn all the way in, you can go all the way out, and then you can twist and you can get the same action where you can go out and in with the wrist. So you get a lot more movement on the right wrist than you do on the left wrist, and that's just because of the design of his armor, okay? You obviously have the spot on the back I showed you where you can put the book bag. In the chest, you can tilt forward like this, and you can tilt back. There's no separate adjustment at the very top of the chest. You can twist a little bit at the waist so that you can get a little bit of movement there in the waist. So that works. In the legs, let's see if there's anything to keep me from doing anything otherwise. In the legs, there's a little bit of a fight, but you can really, yeah, that's about as far forward as you can get with the forward leg, all right? And it feels like there's a lot of fight to get the leg to move, all right? And then you can go about that far back with the leg. So not a whole lot of feeling of movement in the leg. I'm gonna have to play with that some more. At the knees, let me see, at the top of the thigh, you have a little bit of turning that you can do, but not a whole lot. All right, at the knee, you can have a double joint, goes all the way back that way like this. So you have that much play in the knee, all right? And then at the ankles, nothing. You can't twist over here at the top of the calf. At the ankle itself, you do have some movement there where you could twist the ankle around. You don't have side-to-side action with the ankle. You can twist, you can pull back on it, and you can extend out slightly, but not much either. Doesn't seem like for such a big figure that there is a lot of articulation in this piece. It seems like it fights a lot more than the Vader did, and it feels like it fights a lot more than the the 6 scale figures do. So kind of curious to see what kind of poses I can get with him. Let's give it a shot, but right now I'm a little bit skeptical about what I could do with this one. So let's see what we could do. All right, so here's my first pose. Not very difficult to get into this pose. This character here, at least from the size of him and everything, it doesn't lend itself to dynamic poses, I think. I'm gonna try to get one in, but I think that it's better to have these in more of like static museum poses, you know, things like this where it looks like he's, you know, getting ready to get into the fight, but, you know, like a shot in time to, you know, something that you could display there and people will be like, wow, it looks pretty cool. Because I think this pose actually looks really good. There's some posability in the cape here, like I said, and it gives it that really badass feel, I think. I like how he has the gun up like that. So I'm digging it. Let's see what else we could do. All right, so here's my best attempt to get something dynamic out of Boba Fett. So it looks like he's coming in for a landing. He's got his EE3 ready to blast somebody. Maybe he's shooting somebody as he's getting in. So that's my thought behind this. This is absolutely not the suggested way to pose this guy. I wouldn't do this. I'm not keeping it this way. I'm just trying to show you guys the option and the problem with posing him in such a dynamic pose. There's nothing to balance him with. He's very heavy. This crotch grabber that they gave him is not suitable for this. I think they should have given him something a lot more sturdy, like what they give with the die-cast Iron Man figures, because he's got enough weight on him that you need something to balance him with. Obviously, putting him in the air is not the best idea. It would have been better if they had something to grab him at the waist. But I just wanted to give him something that, you know, kind of channel a little bit of the XM Studio statue that I got. Other problems that I see is they don't have an option for the hand where the finger actually goes over the trigger. That would have been kind of cool to have that. I did find out that these plates that they give you, they swap out here, and then there's two plates that have slots in for where the crotch grabber locks into place. So if you want to pose them in this direction, there's one where you can slot it in from the back, and then in the opposite direction, there's one to slot them in that way. So those are your two options. Let's get another pose going, not as dynamic as this one, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, so here is my third and final pose. I like this one. This is the one I'm gonna go with. I'm leaving it like this is because it's a little bit of a pain in the butt to pose this one. It combines a little bit of action, so it has a little bit of dynamic feel, especially with the way I have the cape flowing here like that. I like that he's angled this way so you can see some of the jetpack in the back, and you can see the full EE3, you know, as he's holstering it like that, like he's about ready to just go out there and get into the battle. So I think that's dope. The reason why I say it's difficult to pose is because unlike the other figures that I've had, especially in the wrist, when you go to maneuver it into these type of positions, it's best to take the bracers off, move your wrist around, put the bracer back on, put the hand back on. The legs are kind of stiff. They don't move kind of freely the way the 6 scale figures do. So there's that. Just a suggestion is because this is very delicate. So that's my only suggestion when it comes to posing. This right here, I found out through the instructions that this is the regular edition. I didn't realize there was an exclusive, so there is an exclusive for this one. The exclusive has a pistol that gets holstered on the side. Wish I would have got that one. I didn't realize that that was actually an option, but I'm okay with that. I like the way this looks like this. But that originally cost the exact same price as this version here. So if you have the option to get one or the other, you know, I'd probably go after that one so that you can have at least the pistol showing, or maybe you can have him, you know, holding 2 guns. That'd be kind of dope. So overall, I like it. Not my favorite of the Hot Toys that I've received recently because of the lack of posing. I feel like the Vader had a little bit more that I could do with it. And then the 6 scale figures that I've seen recently have been very posable, you know, and this one here just has a little bit of limitations, mostly due to the clothes and the armor that he's wearing. But you know, the final look of him, I think, is spot on. They did a great job with the design and all that, so it looks really good, and I love the base. No way that you can display this piece without this crotch grabber. I mean, you can, but you're not going to get anything great in a pose, in my opinion. You know, especially utilizing this base. So that's just my thoughts on it. So as always, I'm interested to hear what you guys think about the quarter scale Hot Toys Boba Fett. Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, guys, keep it marvelous. And I hope Asajj Ventress arrives today. Just saying. May the force be with you.